Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Nicktown Chats, my magic and mostly mentalism review show. My name is Nicktown, and on today's episode, I'll be chatting with you guys about something called Pi Max by Vincent Hedan. So hi again guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for showing up, thanks for tuning in. So it's been a while, since my last upload to YouTube, but I've been busy, alright, with stuff, alright, life stuff, alright, pertaining, both to personal as well as professional. But I have some time today, alright, I actually have a stage show to do this evening, alright, but it's afternoon right now and I've got some time, so I thought I could quickly squeeze in one episode for you guys, alright, right here on my channel. So on today's episode, I'll be chatting with you guys about something that I don't think many people talk about or many people perform actually, alright? But it's something that I personally quite like, I quite enjoy, I quite like the effect. This is from the genius, right? That is Vincent Hedan. This is called Pi Max, okay? Now, this is not 100% new thing, alright? Because prior to this version, Vincent has actually released a previous version, alright? So this is, I suppose you call this the original Pi book test routine, alright? So he's previously released this, and then this one, Pi Max, is kind of like the updated version, I suppose. So the main differences between the original and the current one, alright, the latest version, is the method. Okay, effect-wise, they are both exactly the same, alright? All three phases of the routine are exactly the same. It's just that with Pi Max, the method is 50% easier to do, alright, to learn and to perform. In all honesty, I don't know, I just don't have the brain to actually perform the original version, alright? And believe me, I have really tried, okay? And I'll tell you how hard I tried, in fact, okay, in just a little while. But well, yeah, the original version, while I liked the effect, it was just so difficult for me to perform, and yeah, I just abandoned it altogether, But currently, with this version, alright, Pi Max, I finally got the effect down. Okay, so I'm really happy that I can now perform the Pi effect. Okay, anytime, anywhere, I have this book with me. So before we proceed, let's talk about the effect, alright? So what is the effect of this Pi book test thing, alright? Now, while it is called a book test, because it uses a book, obviously, but it's not really a book test in that, you don't read the mind of a spectator, alright? This is, in fact, a memory demonstration, alright? Using Pi as the theme, alright, for the whole thing. So as I briefly mentioned earlier, the effect has three phases. Okay, so let me just quickly describe to you all three phases, alright? So you bring up this book and you talk about, Pi and what it means and how it's an infinite number. And then you have the spectator, alright? You hand this book to the spectator, you have them turn to any page in the book. So they tell you the page number, and then from there, you will tell them the first 2 to 3 digits, alright, that appear on that page. That's phase one. They give you a page number and you can immediately just kind of recall the first 3 numbers that appear on that page. So moving on to phase 2, alright, which is, I think, really impressive, okay? So what happens now is you have the spectator turn to any page in the book, alright? They turn to any page, they call out any sequence of 5 consecutive digits. And then from there, once you hear those 5 digits, you can then continue to rattle off another 40, 50 digits, after the point where they called out their numbers, right? So once they call out the numbers like 19127, you can continue and just rattle off 20619 and so on and so forth, and you go on for another 40, 50 digits. It gets to a point where, they have to kind of turn the page to keep up as well, all right? So I think that is quite an impressive phase 2. And then after phase 2, we get to phase 3. All right, now phase 3 is interesting because it uses the spectator's date of birth. Okay, so what happens now is, the book is still in the spectator's hands. They tell you their date of birth. All right, so for example, my date of birth is, 9th of October, all right, 0910. And now that you know that, you can, send me a birthday card of sorts. So they tell you the date of birth, 0910, the 9th of October. So from here, with the book still in their hand, you can now tell them, all right, I will now try to tell you exactly where in the book that series of 4 numbers appears. All right, so in this case, 0910 would appear on page 59, line number 20, and the 11th digit on the line. Okay, so they will turn to page 59, they will count down to line number 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then the 11th digit in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and they will see right there, hope you can see that, 0910. Alright, so you'll be able to tell them exactly where in the book their date of birth is. So that is the whole routine for PyMax. Alright, all 3 phases. Phase 1, they call out a page number, you tell them the first numbers on that page. Phase 2, they turn to any page, they call out any consecutive 5 numbers, alright, that are in sequence, and then you continue rattling off another 40, 50 digits after that. And then phase 3, they tell you the date of birth, and you will tell them exactly where in the book their birthday can be found. So as I mentioned earlier, there was a previous version of this book test, all right, that was released, all right, by Vincent. Now, over here, you will notice that I have 2 copies, all right, and here's the reason why, okay. Now, I think I can tell you this much, okay, because it is on Vincent's website, okay, the link of which I will leave, in the description box down below. You have to kind of know a memorized deck. Okay, so you have to know a stack, and actually when you purchase PyMax, you can get it in several versions, alright? So depending on the stack that you are familiar with, mnemonica, Joyle, Aronson, whatever, you can purchase the book in that particular stack because you will need that in order to perform the effect. On top of that, there is also a stackless version, alright? So for those of you out there who have not learned to memorize deck, you don't intend to learn one, alright, there's a way to perform it without using a stack. So what happened was, initially, years ago, I was on the Joyle stack. Okay, the Joyle stack by Martin Joyle, the 6-hour memorized deck. So I purchased the original Pi book test in the Joyle stack. Okay, that is, it's set up in Joyle stack, and I tried to learn it using that, and I absolutely could not get it to work. I don't know, it was just too difficult, I think, and due to the nature of the method, and you will understand why if you have the book, right? I just couldn't get the numbers to click in my head. Okay, so it was really almost impossible for me to get confident enough to perform this, at all. Still loving the effect, alright, and still stubborn, and I really wanted to perform the effect, I then contacted Vincent and I said, you know what, I am going to purchase the stackless version. Okay, so I bought another copy, okay, and I bought a stackless version. Now with the stackless version, I could kind of get it to work, okay, but I was really, really slow at it, and I just took a lot of time, and it was just, I don't know, some of the time it was just so difficult to get the numbers to click in my head as well. And so, again, the issue of confidence, right, to perform the effect in real time under fire, I just couldn't get up to speed, and so I kind of abandoned the effect as well. And then came along PyMax. All right, now PyMax is still stack dependent. When I bought this, and I did buy this, all right, this wasn't like a review copy, that Vincent sent to me. I bought this and it's set up in mnemonica, all right, because I do use mnemonica, I know it pretty well, right, so it only made sense for me to pick up the book in mnemonica, all right, so I didn't have to learn anything else, and I have multiple uses for, the stack itself, on top of just performing with playing cards. However, the method in PyMax, okay, is exactly 50% easier than the original version. Okay, now for reasons I can't really explain, right, because that's part of the method, okay, but it really is 50% easier. And when I picked this up, I started, learning it. I realized that I could do it. So how difficult is it to perform PyMax? Okay, now the only thing you need to know, okay, is a stack. Okay, so if you have a stack in your mind already, you can perform this effect. Okay, now the stack, while it is used in this book test, is not used in the way you would use it in like a card trick. Okay, the only thing you need to learn is, well, a whole string of 52 numbers. Okay, so you do need to be able to rattle off a series of 52 numbers, like from start to finish, at one go, right? Pretty smoothly without stopping. The thing is, you need to learn that. So what happens is, well, it uses a stack as the frame, but you kind of learn how to recite the numbers in the stack. But after a while, it will kind of become like almost like a telephone number, that you kind of memorize by heart, all right? And you do need to know the numbers that well, right? Especially if you're going to be performing the second phase, all right, where a spectator calls out a series of 5 numbers, that are in sequence, and then upon hearing that sequence of 5 numbers, you continue reciting, okay, your stack from that position. Okay, so you do need to know your stack really well, all right, from start to finish, really, really smoothly. So just to give you an idea, all right, and I'm not doing this to kind of show off or anything like that, all right, it's not really a big deal, okay, but I'm just doing it to show you that it is possible to learn it. Okay, so it would go like this, all right, you have to have these numbers in your head. It's 42734 6159 2232 865 9321 38605 32385 3180 3170 1474 191 272 0619. Okay, I think I got them all. Okay, so you do need to learn your stack like that, and you'll be able to recite the numbers. Once you have that down, the rest of the book test is really, really simple and direct. So why do I like this effect so much? It has been, described before, in some comments, all right, that, it's a boring kind of an effect, right? You're just reciting numbers. Well, I was kind of fascinated by Vincent's performance of it. All right, the story that he told about, how pi is infinite and you can find any combination of numbers in there, people's mobile numbers, your credit card numbers, your date of birth. Just go and watch, a performance of it on YouTube, all right? Vincent's performance of it, he talks about how each of the digits can form images and it just really captivated me. And I felt that, it really had potential to be, quite nice and quite strong for certain audiences. All right, who might be into this sort of thing. So yes, I actually had this over here, but I forgot to talk about it. I brought it out because I suppose it's kind of related to it as well. It's a completely different thing. David Penn put out this book test of his, all right, the pi to 50,000 decimal places. He has his own version as well, all right, of pi, but this is a different effect altogether, and it uses a web online kind of a thing, all right, an app of sorts, if you will, in order to perform this effect. Okay, I have reviewed this previously as well, so if you're interested in this, look up my review on David Penn's pi effect. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this effect. I don't think this is like a review like of sorts, I suppose. I'm just kind of sharing with you guys an effect that I enjoy, having on my shelf, or carrying out with me in my bag whenever I think there's a potential to perform this effect for a certain group of people. It's really fun to do, and I think the phases are nice in that it kind of builds as well. The first phase, they call out a page number and you tell them the first 3 digits. It sounds and feels plausible. And then the second phase, really strong. They turn to any page, they call out any 5 numbers, and then you continue just rattling off, digit after digit after digit, and they end up having to, turn the page as well just to keep up with you. And then the last and final phase, they call out the date of birth, and you tell them exactly which page, which line, and the position on the line as well that their birthday appears on. All right, and I think there's something about seeing, your 4 digits, right? Your special 4 digits for your date of birth, in a book, exactly where you told them it would be. It's really nice to see it there, and it's quite a nice way to end the routine as well. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the pi book test. All right, now before I go, just to highlight how evil, all right, and devious Vincent is, he has also released a non-gaffed version of the book. Okay, so you can actually purchase a non-gaffed version, all right, a book that actually contains the actual digits of pi. Okay, you can give it to your spectators as a gift, after you perform the effect. I don't know, switch it out in your bag, give it to them, leave it, with them as a little gift, I suppose. But yeah, all right, if spectators actually were to kind of Google this pi effect, and the author's name, Nina Shevent, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. If they were to Google this, they will find the actual ungaffed version, all right, and they can buy it for themselves as well. Alright, so that's all for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I've introduced you to something interesting that you might not be aware of. If you'd like to have a look, at PiMax, okay, I will leave the link for Vincent's website in the description box down below. Alright, so that's all for today's episode, guys. I'm not sure when the next episode will be. I don't have many items to review or talk about, at this point in time. I do have something from Angelo Carbone arriving in the mail. Alright, so I suspect that will be the next thing that I talk about. Okay, so till the next episode, guys, as always, take care of yourselves, stay safe, have fun with your magic and your mentalism, and I will see you on a future episode of Nicktown Chats.